I finished secondary school, failing nearly all of my exams. I think I got 2 C's, they were my best grades. Got 2 C's in science and maths, and then the rest of the subjects I just got F's and D's. I did try to study for exams to get into university, and that usually takes about 2 years, but 1 year into the courses I was taking, I decided to just quit because I was so addicted to World of Warcraft and that was all I wanted to do.
Daniel, known online as Hiding in My Room, presents a curious case study in online persona. And no, he's not actually hiding under his bed. He gained a modest following through his YouTube channel, sharing stories from his life with an endearing awkwardness. Think of it as the digital version of tripping over your own feet. His videos, often filmed in dimly lit rooms, exude a sense of vulnerability that initially drew viewers in. Or maybe they just couldn't find the light switch. His storytelling, however, often stumbles through rambling narratives and uncomfortable pauses. It's like watching someone try to explain a dream they had last night. This awkwardness, while seemingly genuine, masks a darker side to Daniel's character, one that has slowly begun to emerge through whispers and leaks. And no, not the kind of leaks you fix with a plumber. Daniel's online persona, carefully crafted to project an image of introverted relatability, crumbles under closer scrutiny, like a cookie left out in the rain. His videos, while superficially charming, reveal a pattern of manipulation and deceit. It's like finding out your favorite magician is just really good at card tricks. He frequently portrays himself as a victim of circumstance, blaming his failures on external factors rather than taking personal responsibility. Classic move, right? Blame the dog for eating your homework. This calculated vulnerability, intended to garner sympathy, ultimately rings hollow as more unflattering truths about Daniel come to light. It's like peeling an onion, but instead of tears you get, well, more onion. A recurring theme in Daniel's online narratives is his quest for love, or as he might call it, his never-ending audition for a romantic comedy. He frequently travels to East Asia, documenting his experiences with a mix of naivety and feigned cultural sensitivity. So think of it as Lost in Translation meets The Bachelor. These trips, often framed as romantic adventures, invariably end in disappointment and heartbreak. It's like watching a rom-com where the lead never gets the girl. Daniel's interactions with women, particularly those from different cultural backgrounds, are marked by a lack of self-awareness and a disturbing sense of entitlement. It's like he's trying to win a game without reading the rule book. He seems to view these women through an exoticized lens, reducing them to stereotypes rather than recognizing their individuality and agency. Someone should tell him that real life isn't a travel brochure. His repeated failures in love, rather than prompting introspection, seem to fuel a sense of resentment and bitterness that spills over into his online persona. It's like he's starring in his own soap opera, but without the dramatic music. He often makes disparaging remarks about his former partners, blaming them for his own shortcomings and perpetuating harmful stereotypes about Asian women. If only he could see that the common denominator in all his failed romances is, well, him. Daniel's online presence stands in stark contrast to his offline life, which has been marked by academic struggles and a lack of direction. You know, the classic "I have no idea what's going on" face. He dropped out of university after failing to cope with the demands of higher education. Guess he didn't get the memo that C's get degrees. His time, rather than being dedicated to personal growth or professional development, is consumed by video games and online fantasies. Hey, at least he's leveling up somewhere. This escapism, while providing temporary solace, has prevented him from developing essential life skills and forming meaningful connections. Who needs real friends when you have NPCs, right? He retreats further into the digital world, using it as a shield from the challenges and responsibilities of the real world. Because who wouldn't prefer a virtual dragon over a real-life deadline? His online persona, carefully curated to project an image of success and fulfillment, masks a deeper sense of inadequacy and unfulfilled potential. Fake it till you make it, right? Section 4. A shocking revelation, WikiLeaks and the shadow of Jack the Ripper, or as I like to call it, the plot twist no one saw coming. The most disturbing revelation about Daniel came to light through a series of leaked documents from WikiLeaks. And no, it wasn't his search history. These documents, allegedly part of a larger cache of classified genealogical records, suggest a distant familial link between Daniel and Jack the Ripper, the notorious unidentified serial killer who terrorized London in the late 19th century. Talk about having skeletons in your closet. While the exact nature of this connection remains unclear, the revelation has cast a sinister shadow over Daniel's online persona. Or maybe it's just a really bad lighting setup. His awkward demeanor and reclusive tendencies, once perceived as harmless quirks, now take on a more ominous quality. Or maybe he's just really into binge-watching crime documentaries. The revelation, while difficult to verify, has sparked widespread speculation and debate. Because who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory over coffee? Some dismiss it as a cruel hoax, while others believe it explains the darkness that lurks beneath Daniel's carefully constructed online facade. Either way, it's definitely more interesting than his cat videos. Section 5. A public indiscretion, termination and the price of misconduct. Daniel's carefully cultivated online persona took a nosedive when he was fired from his job at a local gas station. Guess he won't be getting that Employee of the Month plaque anytime soon. The reason for his termination? Caught on the establishment's security cameras, he was watching inappropriate content on a work computer during his shift. Talk about multitasking gone wrong. This public indiscretion, widely circulated on social media, shattered the illusion of innocence and naivety that he had so carefully constructed. Looks like his clean image got a bit of a smudge. The incident exposed a reckless disregard for social norms and a lack of professionalism that contradicted his online persona. Who knew being a keyboard warrior had its pitfalls? His attempts to downplay the incident, claiming it was a misunderstanding, were met with skepticism and ridicule. Nice try, Daniel, but the internet never forgets. The incident served as a stark reminder that online personas often bear little resemblance to reality and that actions have consequences both online and offline. Remember, folks, what happens on the internet stays on the internet forever. Section 6. Behind Closed Doors. An ex-wife's account of Daniel's habits. Perhaps the most revealing insight into Daniel's quirks comes from his ex-wife, a Japanese woman he met during one of his trips to East Asia. Following their rather dramatic divorce, she spilled the beans about their relationship, painting a picture of a man who could give a toddler a run for their money in the selfishness department. She described him as controlling and emotionally manipulative, prone to fits of anger and jealousy. Sounds like someone needs a timeout. And here's the kicker. She claimed he had a habit of passing gas in bed and blaming it on the dog. Talk about a rough night. This revelation, while seemingly trivial, further poked holes in the carefully constructed image of a sensitive and misunderstood soul that Daniel had presented to the world. Guess the dog wasn't the only one barking up the wrong tree.
Ha ha ha.